Welcome to our series Rapid Review, where we go over games, giving you gameplay, share what it's about, and give you our thoughts in about 5 minutes. I'm Led with Gamers Keep, and in this video, we're going to be reviewing Delta Force, and specifically the Operations mode. Delta Force Operations is an exciting new extraction shooter that hits a good middle road of casual yet intense. I'll go over a few key points with Delta Force. I think it does a really good job, and most things right and really well, but honestly it has a few serious problems, so stick with me and we'll go over this mama jamma. In this video I'm not going to go deep into what an extraction shooter is, but I'll give you a brief layout if you're new to the genre. Basically, you get to dress up your character with your own armor and weaponry from home stash, and if you die in raid, you lose it, it's gone. But if you make it out, you're swimming flush, baby. So the point is to get in, kill some mother fathers, grab that sweet loot, baby, and get home. And what Delta Force does here that's kind of unique is they give you the operators. On a lot of extraction shooters, you don't have operators. This gives you abilities and new characters, which really change up the fights. You'll select a map and you'll be able to give the option of easy, normal, or hard mode. And what they try to do here is essentially make easy for a little bit more casual or newer players, normal for the more intense chads, and hard mode for the absolute geeked out Asian offspring. To give you the layout of the home screen, we got the stash here, and the stash is like your home base. This is where you bring home all of your loot and your goodies, and you stack it into this grid over here. You also get some crates, which is kind of nice, helps you with storage. And as you can see, mine is absolutely stacked. I'm boop bopping and buzzing, baby. So don't get intimidated if my stash is bigger than yours. Like I mentioned earlier, there's some operators, and it basically comes in 4 classes where you have your assault aggros, your support classes, your beefier defense bros, and your recon ladies. There's the departments page, and this is essentially where you accept missions and turn them in to get money and items, all that good shiz. This is what allows you to level up. There is an auction house where you get to sell and buy stuff with other players, so this is a good place to make good money. You got your black site, which is really rad. It's like a home base, and essentially what you get to do is level it up. And as you level it up, your character gets perks. So for example, as you level up CSD, you get a faster move down speed, more stamina, and your stamina recovery goes up. You also have the crafting table where you can make your own armor and ammo along with your drugs and some weapon attachments. Then you got the gunsmith. I feel like it's pretty in depth with the attachments and customizations you can do, and one of the highlights of the game in my opinion. With this also comes a firing range, and out of the games that I've played, this firing range honestly seems to be one of the better ones. Really fleshed out, which is mega handy. With this game being free, they do have a store function, and that's where they make most of their money. And so you're basically just paying for cosmetics and exclusive knives and stuff like that. And on the bright side, none of these are pay to win. So if you're a big skin dude, great. If not, save your money. They of course also do a battle pass that's been pretty popular these days. The battle pass is honestly pretty affordable in my opinion. It's around $7 US, and you get a ton of stuff. So if you play the game decent amount, it's super worth it. Lastly is how the gear and ammunition works. It's a pretty simple system with a legendary tier from common, uncommon to rarity to legendary. And the biggest way this affects is the better ammunition that you have has better penetration through armors. It doesn't necessarily do more limb damage, but will penetrate better armors. And vice versa, better armors has better protection. Personally, I really dig Delta Force. I think this game bops. I have a background coming from Escape from Tarkov, which if you don't know is probably the most hardcore extraction shooter that I can think of, and kind of the pioneer in popularizing this genre. And I think this game is a perfect balance between Tarkov and Call of Duty. So it finds this place in a sweet middle ground of a little bit less stressful, but you still get that heart pumping excitement. Another sweet thing is when we do have a good player base, I feel like the load times are really fast, which is super nice. You don't spend a lot of time in your stash. They have a good optimization to get into raid really quick. Like it only takes me maybe 4 to 5 minutes at most to gear up my guy and bop into a game. As much as I want to shout nothing but pros for Delta, it's got some serious cons and I can't sweep it under the rug. So currently, they got a massive problem with cheaters. It seriously blows. I'm not running into cheaters every single match, so It's still definitely playable, but honestly, out of 10 games, I would say 1 or 2 of them I'd run into someone suspicious. They have certain maps with very high loot, which is very rewarding and they're a ton of fun, but the problem is, on those maps, dude, you're like rolling the dice a 50-50% chance to run into one of those hack boys. So, not great. There's currently no wipe or prestige mode, so as you get down the road, it does drift a little bit and lose some purpose. They're working on the game, so don't get me wrong, but right now, I gotta be honest, the player count isn't crazy high for this mode, which leaves certain maps like Layali Grove, for example, with some high wait times. That kind of blows. There are minor bugs and hit registry issues, but honestly, nothing game breaking. Something I need to mention, but nothing to worry about. That being said, the new Season 4 did just come out, and they implemented some improvements like a kill cam system, which is major. So they do have a right track and are in the right direction. It just feels like progress is a little slow, but I think eventually they'll get things buttoned up. Graphics. It looks good. Nothing's groundbreaking or anything, but it's pleasant to look at. I feel like the character models are really well. They don't really have a lot of clipping issues. And the biggest pro is I'm able to see the opponents. I feel like certain games can be really dark or hard to see other players. This isn't too much of a problem here. Gameplay. Phenomenal! In my opinion, I think the gunplay is hands down what makes this game shine the most. It has excellent movement and vaulting, and overall feels really fleshed out. So I think this is why I enjoy this game so much. Story. You're a pissed off army rogue operative that wants to kill people and steal their stuff. So, yeah. Difficulty. It is an extraction shooter, so by nature is more of a hardcore experience than most gamers are used to, I would say. For example, my extraction rate and survival rate is like 45%, so the majority of the time I'm dying. But man, that adrenaline pumping fights where I wipe out a team, I can feel it coursing through my veins. It's pretty intoxicating. So difficult, yes, but the way Delta has done it is very open and inviting for anybody new, so I still recommend it. Replayability. I've personally sunk over 320 hours, so it's definitely got some legs. I think the mileage is going to mainly depend on your attraction to the genre, but personally, I dig it. I have a lot of fun. I'm still playing it, but I am at a point now where at endgame, it's losing some purpose, and my attention is starting to sway elsewhere. Value for price and where to buy. It's free 99, baby, so slurp that shiz up. It's currently on PC via Steam or Epic, and on your mobile phones as well. It'll be coming soon to consoles like Xbox and PlayStation. I don't think Nintendo. No hard confirmation date on the consoles yet, but it is anticipated at the end of this year. It does already have cross progression and is expected to have cross play for consoles and PC, so big plus there. With it being free, I think the bigger question is if it's worth your time, and I genuinely think it is. If anything, it's at least worth trying out. Would I recommend? Yeah, I would. I love this heart-pumping genre, and I think Delta Force is incredibly fun. So I wish I had nothing but positive things to say about it and get everyone on the bandwagon, but we can't turn the blind eye to the serious problems it currently faces, so hopefully those are remedied soon. But genuinely, like I said before, give it a shot and expand your palette. You might like it, like I have. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please give a like, subscribe, and consider sharing your thoughts below as well. By all means, ask me anything. I'm happy to respond. And on a side note, we're building a website called gamerskeep.com where you're going to be able to review games yourself, so keep an eye out for that, as we'll be coming out soon. As always, thank you for your valuable time, and have a wonderful day. Peace!
What the hell? How'd you get so close?